If you're thinking about starting a personal brand in 2025, just don't. Well, not in the way everyone else is doing it, at least, because most people who are trying to build a personal brand, they're posting for months, burning out, and they still don't even have a paying client. And the thing is, what most people call a personal brand is just randomly posting, hoping likes turn into cash. Now, I learned this the hard way myself, but once I shifted everything from chasing attention to actually building a system around my skills, everything changed. And now I've generated over $1 million with my personal brand, the one you see right here. And I've even helped my clients turn their existing skills that they had from their 9-to-5 jobs into a $10,000 per month personal brand selling their own high-ticket offers. And you can do this without chasing followers and going viral, but instead just adding value to people. So before we talk about what works and how you can do this for yourself, let's first dive into why the traditional idea of personal branding is broken and why most people are set up to fail right from the start. Now, for the majority of people who are watching YouTube content and seeing people on Instagram, they have this misconception on what personal branding actually is. A lot of them are actually thinking, oh, to build a personal brand, I just need to keep posting content, my daily life, and check out my struggles, right? And when they keep posting all this stuff and they get like 5 likes per post, they wonder, hey, how come it's not working? I'm copying everybody else. That leads us to the second problem. A majority of you guys, I'm not saying you, but many people out there, they're just seeing other people like Daniel Dallin post, these point of view vlogs. So they're just gonna copy his exact style, copy his music, put out these vlogs, and still nobody watches. And it's a little sad because what these people who are copying so much don't understand is that they're doing it for the likes, the vanity, the subscribers, just to get a bunch of views. But the reason why nobody watches is because when you copy other people blindly and you're posting random content, you're thinking very selfishly. You're thinking about how great you are and why everybody should watch you. I don't know how many times I've talked to people on the phone and they always tell me, yeah, I want to build a personal brand. I have a great story. The thing is, nobody actually cares about your story when you are selfish and just thinking about yourself for the vanity. And because most people are so focused on getting attention, they don't really provide value into the market. There's no reason for why somebody would want to watch them. Not only that, but when they're creating this content, they do it without the intent of selling an offer. So even if you get all these views, right, which most people don't even get that far, what do you do with the views? How are you supposed to make money? Are you going to rely on a brand sponsorship to make your personal brand sustainable? And on top of that, people confuse audience size to revenue. So I've talked to many people who have millions of followers on TikTok and Instagram doing pranks and jokes and things like that. But you'd be surprised. They'd be only making like $1,000 to $3,000 per month off of those millions and millions of views. And other people I've seen, they'll maybe have 3,000 followers on LinkedIn, but they'll be pulling in 10K a month because they're providing value to actual businesses. And I'll give you a perfect example. One of my clients in the Founder X program, which is a program where I help people go from their 9-to-5 to building a personal brand and monetizing online. So when I met Brandon, he basically had a full-time job as a VP at a construction company. And he was doing some, editing stuff on the side, getting paid $750 a month for doing a lot of work. So once he joined the program, I told him, look, what you need to do is sell a skill. And what is your skill? You love content creation? Okay. And you've been in the construction industry for how long? 15 years? Okay. Do content creation for construction companies because you know them, you love content. And even if you're not the most competitive in content creation, because you found this unique niche that not a lot of people are going for, you're gonna look like a genius in your market. So we literally followed my advice after one coaching call, and then he went out and signed a $2,000 client, increased his price to $3,000, and then he got to $10,000 within 30 days off of the back of his LinkedIn following. And his LinkedIn following was just him just living his life. It wasn't even like, he wasn't even trying to be an influencer or a content creator. He was literally just providing value to businesses in a niche that he was comfortable in. And sometimes it's that easy. And a lot of times you might have a business inside of you, you just don't realize it yet. So now that you kind of understand what's actually possible, right? You might be thinking, okay, so if the traditional idea of personal branding isn't what you thought it was, what are you supposed to do instead? And that's why I'm going to go into a real alternative to this personal branding idea and flip it upside down so you understand how to build a following that actually makes money. If you want to build a profitable personal brand, it actually doesn't start with content. A lot of people make the recommendation that you should grow your following as big as possible and then you can sell anything. The problem with that is you don't know how long it's going to take to build a following that is big enough to sell something. And even if you built that following, do you even know if this audience will buy anything? And if these are question marks, what's the point of even building that audience if you don't know if you can make money? Which is why I highly recommend you start with a skill first that you already have, or a skill that you're passionate about and have the desire to learn. So it can be the skills that you learn from work. Maybe you've done some freelancing on the side. Maybe you have some unique life experiences. I've coached some people where they're like a salesperson, but they're just an expert in relationships and they help all their friends, get happy relationships. But you have to understand this. There are a lot of people out there who are lonely that will pay money for a coach to help them find the love of their life. It sounds ridiculous in a way, but if you think about it, there's a lot of people with money, but there are other parts that are broken in their life and they're willing to pay. Some people have money, but they're not fit and they want to have a six pack. And some people, they have money and they want to make more money and maybe you can help them out, right? So the key is to leverage skills that you already have. Like, don't go into businesses that you have no business in, right? Like if you have been doing marketing for 10 years at these great companies, why would you go around and try to start an ice cream shop? It's ridiculous, right? Because you have no business in it, no skills in it. You have to invest so much money. It's like, what's the point? When you can literally take the skills you already have because your employer already pays you for those skills, go out to other companies and do it for yourself and charge way more. That way, instead of having one employer, you can have 5 and do like 20% of the work and get paid significantly more, and even hire people under you as you scale. So at the end of the day, it's about providing some kind of skill that provides value into market. That's how you actually make money. And once you have that skill, the next step is actually packaging it into a high ticket offer. So when I say offer, it's really just answering a couple things. Figure out what it is you're going to sell. For example, is it going to be some kind of service, a retainer? You're going to ghostwrite for someone's Twitter account, right? What is the thing that you are selling? Number 2 is, who are you selling it to? And why would they pay you money? Because if you're selling to people who are broke, they're not going to pay you. If you're going to sell to people with money, but they're not willing to pay you, they also won't pay you money. So they have to be able and willing to pay. And final step is, what price do you want to charge? Right? And a lot of people, they'll undercharge themselves. Oh, I'll just do it for free, or I'll do it for $100. When in reality, if you are actually good at what you do, you can actually charge money from day one. Now, you can do it for free in the beginning if you just want the testimonials to get the ball rolling. That's okay. But once you get some testimonials, you got to start charging thousands of dollars. I would recommend at least $2,000 plus per client to hit that high ticket mark. Now, one framework that I share with all my clients, and it's going to help you understand what that skill should be that you should be selling, is I want you to use this concept called the Ikigai. Now, the Ikigai is a Japanese concept that teaches you your reason for being. So what is your purpose in life, right? So how I use it is it's going to be the intersection of what you love, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, and what you're good at. When you find that intersection of these 4 things, you can be doing something that you're really good at, you love it, people pay you money for it, and then that is literally going to be your business, right? So a couple examples is Brandon, which is, one of the clients I was telling you about. He loves content, he loves marketing, he's in the glass business and construction business. So we put all that together. People in his industry need marketing. They need to generate leads. He's good at content marketing to attract inbound leads, and he has an expertise in this business because he's been doing it for 15 years. Right? Yes, he went out on his own to create a new business, but he used the experience that he had to shortcut the chance of success to get 10K per month, right? If he had started from scratch, how long is it going to take before you make your first dollar? And that's why you have to consider your experiences and the skills you have. Or Yvonne, for example, she was a sales rep who had less than 1 year of sales experience when we first met. And we were trying to think, okay, like, what do you enjoy? What can you do? What can you be paid for? And so she said, yeah, she likes making content. She likes helping people. She's good at sales. She was a top performer making 6 figures at her sales development rep job. And so we came up with the idea of, hey, there's a lot of people who want the job that you have and they want to make 6 figures as well doing tech sales. Why don't you just help people break into tech sales and charge them thousands of dollars to help them get a job? And that's exactly what she did. In literally 2 months after working with me and creating this high ticket offer, she quit her job to do this full time. And she makes about $7,000 per month just helping other people get jobs. So you see, the simple formula to this is you find a skill using your Ikigai. You create content to get people to come to you, right? Inbound leads, similar to content that you're watching right now. And finally, you just make the offer and sign your clients. It's really just a 3-step process. It's that simple. And the crazy part is if you sign 1 or 2 clients per month at $2,000 to $5,000 each, that can literally change your life. Because if you think about how much you need for your living expenses, maybe it's a couple $1,000s. So if you can sign 2 clients at $3,000 each, that's $6,000. For a lot of people out there, that actually replaces your full-time income. If you sign 3 clients, let's say you're making $8,000 per month, you're getting really close to making $100,000 per year off of signing 3 clients per month. That's like 1 per week. So now when you start looking at the math, it becomes more possible. And so if you want to dive a little bit deeper into this entire process of creating a high ticket offer, building a personal brand, and signing clients, I actually put together a free training where I walk you through my entire process. This is the same process I walked Yvonne through and Brandon through and countless other of my clients who are able to quit their 9-to-5s to go full-time on their personal brand, selling their skills online. So if that interests you, I put a link in the description for you to sign up for that free training. And after you watch your training, if it makes sense and you want to take the next step, you can book a call directly with me where I'll map out a strategy on how we can do the same for you. So again, link is in the description, and let's continue with the video. So now that you understand the high-level strategy of how this goes down, I want to really dive deep into what you can actually do to get started today. Not tomorrow, not next month, not next year, not next quarter, but I'm talking about today. And so let's get into how to actually do it and put the pedal to the metal. So here's going to be the roadmap for you to get started in building a profitable personal brand in the next 30 days. All right, so step number 1 is identifying your skill, which I've been preaching this entire video, right? So like I said before, use the Ikigai to find one skill that you can sell into the market. And the things you can actually sell are limitless. It's basically limited only by your imagination. So I'll give you an example. There was a time when I was doing a lot of consulting, marketing consulting specifically for crypto companies. And I actually specialized in helping anime and gaming crypto companies with their marketing to sell their things. Now, because, I had a lot of experience in anime and gaming, not because I worked in the industry, but because that was my hobby. I was a nerd growing up playing Dota, League of Legends, and basically all the games from, Nintendo 64 and onwards, right? And because I knew all the games, I knew all the references, I watched a bunch of anime, when I advised these people on what they should do and how to create assets or creative marketing to appeal to a certain demographic, like I knew this stuff, right? So I combined my ability in sales and marketing with my knowledge in anime and gaming, which I never thought would become useful, put it together and started selling it to these crypto companies. I definitely helped a lot of companies make multiple 7 figures. So you would be surprised on, how you can turn your hobbies and your passions into, helping out these companies or providing some kind of value. Now, step number 2 is you want to package your skills into a crystal clear offer. The easiest way to think about it is if you had like 1 sentence to describe what you do, and it could be, I help your customer, your avatar, accomplish some kind of result by doing whatever your unique process is. So it could be, I help crypto companies sell out their projects by helping them with marketing, right? Content marketing or creating narratives or whatever it is that you do, right? I help fitness influencers sign more clients by building funnels and running ads. You see how simple this is, right? A lot of people I talk to, when I ask them, hey, like, what do you do? They'll be like, I got to explain, take 10 minutes to explain what they do. That's how you know they don't know what they're talking about. If you cannot explain what you do in 1 sentence, you don't know anything. Now, the next part of step 2 is to focus on simplicity, okay? And focus on the results and being as specific as you can. So in general, if you're selling to everybody, you're not selling to anyone. Be specific on your market, be specific on your unique method of solving that problem in the market, because the more specific you can be, the higher you can charge. The more general you are, it's going to be hard for people to give up a lot of money for your help. And the feeling you want to create is you want the other person to feel like, oh my God, this is exactly made for me, right? And that's how you get the big bucks. Step number 3, you want to create consistent content. So pick a platform where your ideal customer hangs out and where you have advantage, right? So whether it's YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, you can make money on all of them. But the key is understanding, is your target demographic there and do you have advantage? So if you want to be on camera and you're good at talking and you can talk for an hour straight, 100% you got to go on YouTube because YouTube loves long form. But maybe you're not that good at talking and you don't want to show your face, then go on the platforms where written content is stronger, like Twitter and LinkedIn. So there's no perfect platform that you should choose. You choose the one that is best for you and your goals. Now, in the content itself, if I were to give you the 80-20 of how to create good content, you just focus on agitating some kind of problem and provide the solution. That's it. If you're a fitness coach and you're struggling signing clients, here's my unique method on how to sign 5 clients per day, right? Paying solution. If the only type of content you made was that and you knew nothing else, you would still make money. And the third point is focus on attracting high value clients, not virality. There are many videos I've made, like for example, the dark psychology on how to sell anything. I made multiple of these videos and yes, they get hundreds of thousands of views, but other videos that get less views can actually generate much more revenue because it's attracting a certain type of person. So just because you go viral doesn't mean you're going to get a bunch of money. Now, the best thing to do is to be like going viral in your niche, because if you're viral and you're providing value, high value, attracting high value clients and it blows up, then that's when you're raking in the money. So views are great if it's quality views, but views where it's not quality views is not going to be good. All right, so the next step is simple call to actions, right? So when you're making content, let's say it's in this YouTube video, you want to let people know that you or they can book a call with you in the video. So I've done it in this video so far, right? In the earlier, I said, hey, there's a free training. If it makes sense, you can book a call directly with me. Now, there's going to be thousands of people watching this video, but some of you guys who actually are serious will want to book a call with me to see how we can work together, right? You don't need everyone to buy. Actually, if you got that top 1% to buy high ticket, that is your business right there, right? You don't need to work with everybody. You don't need, a low ticket, mid ticket product for everyone, right? Maybe down the line once you're deeper in the game, but if you're just trying to make 10K per month, high ticket is the easiest in my opinion. So no need for fancy funnels. Honestly, do you need a website? No, you can just have a Calendly link and people will book a time to talk on your calendar. That's it. It's that simple, right? I've seen so many other people do this. And if they connect with the content, they will book a call. That's just how it works. If they're not booking calls, they're not connecting with the content, you're not agitating enough pain, and that's why they don't book. And again, like if nobody books a call, you just keep doing it. You just keep creating content. You're getting better with each piece of content that you put out until somebody books. Like there's no way that if you got 10,000 views on every single video, no one's gonna book a call. It will happen, but you just need to develop the skills in order to make it happen. Now, even with this blueprint, the problem I'll tell you is that most people actually fail to get results, to be honest. So let me help you by sharing a mindset that you can use to make your first $100,000 online and hopefully within the next 12 months. So it really all comes down to mindset. Mindset is everything in this space, especially when it comes to content creation and sales. So why most people stay stuck, they don't do anything, they watch a video and it's just like mental masturbation, right? Here's why. They have this side hustle mentality and they're going to chase every shiny object. So they'll be like, oh, personal branding so cool, AI so cool. Now I'm going to go into dropshipping and Amazon FBA. And it's just like goes on and on and on. And maybe they find a little bit of success in something and then they switch. They don't focus on one thing and go all in. The second reason why people stay stuck is the fear. They're afraid to put their name out there. A lot of you guys watching this, you're just like, oh, I'm afraid that if I film a video on camera, no one's gonna like me. Then how you expect to succeed? Like, come on now, what are we talking about, right? If that's the mentality you're gonna have being an entrepreneur, I'm sorry, it's not for you. But for those of you who actually are willing to put your name out there, which is the way the future is going anyways, you might as well just take advantage of it. Now, other reasons why people fail. The instant gratification trap. A lot of these people, they're quitting too early before the results compound. So I've seen people who start YouTube channels, they'll make 3 videos, they'll spend a whole week on every video and they put so much effort and it'll get 20 views. And then they're like, I made 3 videos, it didn't work, Patrick. And I'm like, well, First of all, you're not that great at making content because you've only been doing this for like 3 weeks. Second of all, sometimes your videos are good, but the algorithm just hasn't caught up. So you need more volume. You need to keep going. And anyways, to build a personal brand and to do this kind of business, your job is essentially to be a content creator. So just do your job. Just create the videos every single week without fail, and eventually you will get there. And if you're complaining about creating content was never for you to begin with. Now, the other reason why people fail is perfectionism, right? They're afraid of what people think. So when it comes to perfectionism, I understand it pretty well because I've talked to hundreds of people who have this. People will say, I want to make it perfect. I got to make the video all good, whatever, right? But here's what they don't understand. Even if a beginner tried their absolute best to make a video perfect thumbnail, title, the content itself, the perfect script, it's still going to suck. I'm sorry. That's the truth. It's still going to suck. Most people's perfect are not good. So, and perfect relative to what? What is the reference that you're judging yourself on? And the chances are, it's not even a chance, I know this. People use the excuse of perfectionism because they're afraid of what other people think. If they just put it out and they just like, you know what, who cares? Just boom, 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 put it out. Just learn as you go and get better with every video. That's how it goes. There's no such thing as perfect because you have no reference or frame of reference to draw from. Perfect to who, right? So let's reframe your mindset from being just a consumer and someone that makes excuses to adopting a business owner's mindset. Now, here is how you're going to win. Number one, focus on one high value offer. Now, a lot of you guys might be thinking, oh, I can create an online course. I can create a small course, a big course, and a coaching program and a mastermind. Bro, like you can't even sell one thing yet. So let's just focus on that. And you can make 100K just on one offer. I promise you. Okay. Number two, play the long game, compound your skills, keep developing your content creation skills, keep developing the skill that you're selling to other people, and develop the skill of managing a team. If you do all those things, you will get to 100K a year, no problem. Next, hyper focus on creating value for clients, right? At the end of the day, it's not about just getting views, because no one's gonna buy your coaching, consulting, or services if they don't believe you can deliver results. So a lot of people, they focus so hard on trying to become famous before they even can think of a way to give value into the market. So that's why I always preach, like, use a skill you already have because you're already providing value in the market just at your job. Now just take that and do it for yourself, and it's a guaranteed hit. And the last piece, done is better than perfect. Just put it out, okay? Like the thumbnail's gonna suck. The video editing's not gonna be that good. Maybe you're gonna stutter in your words. Maybe you're gonna watch it, look back, and cringe. That's fine. Everybody starts from zero, but you just have to get started. At the end of the day, a personal brand is really just a reflection of your skills, how you create value in the market, and your message that you want to share into the world. That is what I personally think a personal brand is. It's not the views, it's not the likes, it's not the subscribers. It's just you, your skills, who you want to help, how you help, and your philosophy on how you want to change the world. So if you focus on these things, you will master personal branding. Now look, most people will watch this video, nod their heads, and then go back doing the same old thing, the same old routine, and nothing changes. But for those of you who are actually serious to take action, make the leap, and start living your dream life in the next 6 to 12 months, I actually created something special for you called Founder X. Now, Founder X is for you if you're actually serious about building a personal brand that attracts clients to you using content. And this is gonna get you off the hamster wheel of chasing likes or trying to go viral. So if that sounds good to you, I encourage you to book a call directly with me. I put a link in the description for my calendar. Now, I actually just opened a handful of calls this week, and on that call, I'll actually help you map out exactly how to turn your skills into a high ticket offer. And if it makes sense from there, we can actually start working together. Now, if you want one of these spots, I put the link in the description. And something to think about is that you don't want to put this off, because this 40-minute call that we're going to have together is literally the difference between you being stuck exactly where you are versus living your dream life and building your online business in the next 6 to 12 months.